Ranking up your first 6-star champion on a brand new raid account could be extremely rough. However, things at least get a hell of a lot easier once you're able to access Brutal Difficulty Campaign and are able to farm level 12 of Brutal Difficulty Campaign on Stage 3. Why do we farm Stage 3? Because it gives a pretty good amount of experience, and because shield artifacts that drop on Stage 3 of Campaign 12 sell for a good amount of silver compared to all of the other options such as chest and gloves and boots and all of that. Shields just tend to sell for the best. So for the overall best resource income on your account in terms of silver and experience combined, Campaign 12-3 on Brutal Difficulty tends to be the best stage to farm. But the basics of leveling food champions are making sure that you fill up all of the slots when you're farming Campaign, right? This way, the experience share, 75% of the experience that you earn from farming Campaign goes into food champions, and only 25% is going to get wasted on your level 60 Campaign farmer. If I was to only have one food champion in the mixer, yeah, this guy would level up faster, but we only leveling one guy at a time, and we're wasting 50% of our experience into the Campaign farmer, which is just no good. So what is up, guys? This is Gob. This is everything you need to know, every trick in the book, starting with the basic stuff, then intermediate, and the more advanced stuff for maximizing the amount of food champions on your account, so you have an account food stockpile that looks a little bit something more like this. Oh, look at the reserve vault on the main account, bro. Oh my god, it is so stacked with 5-star and 4-star chickens. A lot of these level 18 champions as well are just sort of like food in waiting. We are just stacked with food, and we can just rank up any champion at will. That's the goal. For now, let's talk events, man. Jumping on back to our brand new Basilios Roanus account for this example as well, where farming food on this account, absolute priority right now. Hey, by the way, man, if you haven't started a new account yet using the beginner promo link that's down below at the top of the video description box, you want to get that done before the end of the month of July, while Lemon Easy is still available as a free login reward champion chase legendary, right? To get yourself a triple legendary start. Basilios Roanus and a bunch of epic champions from using the link down below, so get that used right now on laptop or PC. Input beginner promo code Demon Slayer to get your hands on Thorlin Balbeard, and then get Lemon Easy while she's available in the champion chase before it expires, man. Most glorious time to start a new raid account in a hell of a long time. Okay, man. Let's do it. So we've touched on Campaign, we've touched on how to farm Campaign and farm up your food champions. You're going to be pulling your food champions from mystery shards. Of course, your green shards are going to be your main source of food champions, unless you pull like a very good rare champion like an apothecary or something. There are really not that many rare champions that are not considered food, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. But if in doubt, at least look the champion up on hellhades.com and see if it might help you out somewhere in the game before you use it as a chicken. Now, another thing that you can do with your 1-star food champions is use 1 brew and 3 other 1-star food champions to rank them up instantly into rank 2. So for example, I've got a lot of magic brews right now, which you can see, so I might want to take one of my magic affinity champions, throw in a magic brew and 3 additional food champions that are just 1-star. Hit the upgrade button, and then we can just rank him up straight away using another champion copy, and bam, we've got ourselves an instant 2-star champion, and it just saves us having to farm up a bunch of levels and ranking up a 1-star champion in Campaign, which is just more annoying than anything. However, I will say that you do not want to be using this method of throwing a brew into a 1-star champion and ranking them up this way if you are running low on mystery shards, right? If you got any less than like 300 mystery shards, I would not recommend doing this method at all, especially if you're free to play as well, right? You want to make sure that you're checking into your market building as well. Whenever the market refreshes, make sure you're jumping into the market and you're buying these mystery shards whenever they pop up. They are going to fuel your food champion supply, right? And they cost basically nothing, and so you might as well get it done. But mystery shards are more valuable than you might think. You can pull mystery shards by the 100 in a summon rush event, and earn all kinds of free rewards in a summon rush by just pulling mystery shards at the right time, especially if it's like a fusion summon rush that you really can't afford to miss and you don't have the sacred shards to get through an event like that. You can throw in like 500 mystery shards and they can stand in for 1 sacred shard in a summon rush event, right? So don't be underestimating your mystery shards, and make sure you're saving up a good amount of these, and don't be too quick to be ranking up your champions with the 1 brew 3 food method. By and large, keep it to farming the campaign. Now, you do not want to be farming the campaign either to rank up your food champions unless you have an experience banner active. As you can see right here, we've got an experience boost active on our account right here. It's just going to double the amount of XP that our champions earn, very simply put. Now, if your experience boost runs out for whatever reason, right, you can can get experience boosts from a variety of things. For example, I don't have the advanced quests unlocked on this account right now, but from events, from CVC events, from your advanced quests when you eventually unlock those at account level 35. I'm only level 33 right now. You can get them as some of the login rewards pop up as experience banners as well. If you run out, and if you are desperate, you can head on into the gem shop and scroll all the way on along, and you can buy yourself either a 3-day experience boost if you plan on doing a lot of food farming over the course of 3 days, and it's slightly better value for your gems than the 1-day experience boost, but buy whichever one suits you if you plan on doing a lot of campaign farming to rank up your food. Next up, man, some more intermediate food farming tips, and this is going to be for once you've spent all of your beginner gems on ranking up your gem mine. It's going to set you back 1,500 gems in total to get 3 levels on your gem mine. You might want to spend then your first 800 gems going into one of your champions, maybe one of your starter champions, or your Thorlin Foulbeard if you use promo code Demon Slayer with my promo link, for example. You can spend the 800 gems to unlock, for example, Thorlin's Mastery Scrolls, and that's another spend you can do with your gems. After that, you almost definitely want to go ahead and unlock all of these slots in your Guardian Ring. You don't have to upgrade them, right? Don't spend the 350 gems down here. I don't know if you guys can see behind my camera. It looks like you can't. You can pay 350 gems, as you can see right here, to upgrade your Guardian Ring slots as well and make them level up even faster. That's usually not that necessary, to be honest. Much better off, for the time being at least, just spending the 300 gems to unlock all of your sparring pit slots. Then what I'd recommend you do and how you use the Guardian Ring is make sure that you take like a 4-star food champion, level them up to about level 25 or 26, and then put them in the Guardian Ring. Why is that so important to do? Well, because if you put a champion in there when they're just, hang on, if I just put like a level 1 5-star food, why would I put a level 1 5-star? Let's put a level 1 4-star food champion in here, right? Oh, we're going to try and get it up to level 40, right? Yeah, if I put it in the Guardian Ring now, then in just 38 minutes, this champion is going to be ready to level up, which means I need to log into the game again to push the level up button on that Guardian Ring slot. That's a problem, right? That's not good. What we want to be able to do is set and forget for the most part, right? Make it so that when we put a champion in the Guardian Ring, it's going to take like 7 hours for them to get their next level, right? Because it takes them more and more experience the higher level they are. And so I do this all the time on my main account. I level my 4-star food champions up first to about 25 or 26, and then I put 5 of them in the Guardian Ring all at the same time. And that way they all stay in sync, and it's very, very easy for me to log in once in the morning, once in the evening, and hit the level up button across all of them. And yeah, it's like 8 hours per level up, you know, so I'm not wasting a lot of time that way. Next up, man, we just kind of touched on it, but farming Minotaur. While you might want to go into one of your beginner champions, right, maybe a first level 60 champion on your new raid account and go in and pay the 800 gems for the Mastery Scrolls, it cannot be understated how much it is advised that you don't do that ever again, right? It's fine to do it once. It's fine to do it maybe twice. I'm considering doing it again on my free-to-play account, just because I'm nearing like 2,000 gems saved up and I don't have anything to spend them on like anytime soon. But even on my other free-to-play account, I'm just gonna grit my teeth, I think, and hold on to those gems and not spend the gems on the Mastery Scrolls. It's always more efficient to farm your Mastery Scrolls in Minotaur's Labyrinth. But Cobb, this is a food farming video. What the hell has this got to do with anything, right? Well, the reason I'm pointing this out is because while it's fine to farm up your food champions in campaign, and it's easily the most efficient way to be farming up your food champions in campaign, earning a little bit of silver along the way, when it comes to leveling up champions that you actually want to build all the way up to level 60, and you're sure that you want to build that champion all the way up to level 60, bro, as soon as they hit 5 stars, start leveling them in Minotaur if you can clear stage 15 Minotaur. That's the one caveat, right? In the first few weeks of your raid account, first like month and a half of your raid account, depending on how fast you progress, that might not be doable, but I'm telling you, in terms of efficiency, this is the way to do it, man. I've been doing this for a long time on my main account, and it works like a treat. This is what my team currently looks like in Minotaur on my main account. You can see I like to keep the champions I'm leveling up towards level 60 all rather in sync. And so, yeah, stage 15 Minotaur, it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience, right? This is like something that you start doing in the mid-game. But the point is, don't be spending energy leveling up champions that you intend to take up to 6 stars in campaign. You're gonna have to farm the masteries on them anyway, bro. It's so much more efficient in terms of like energy expenditure on your account and resource expenditure to be leveling up champions in Minotaur anyway, while also farming up their mastery scrolls. You can spend 800 gems to unlock a champion's masteries and use the energy to level them up in campaign. That's one thing you can do. Or you can spend about 700 gems worth of energy to take them through Minotaur, they get the scrolls at the same time and they level up in Minotaur anyway. And the cool thing is that as soon as a champion hits 5 stars on your account, right, so level 1 and 5 stars, if you just start farming their masteries in Minotaur from then on, right, and like a 5-man team like this, by the time they hit like level 57, 6 stars at level 57, they've usually farmed all of their mastery scrolls by then. So like, it kind of syncs up almost perfectly, bro. Again, it takes a hell of a lot of patience, but it only makes sense. Now, if you're a spender on this game, you don't give a damn, right? And you just, God, I'm a spender on this game, but I still can't bring myself to be inefficient as hell on this main account, you know? I still make sure to farm all of my champions' masteries in Minotaur, unless under very, very special circumstances. Another more advanced strategy for farming food champions, once your account is a little bit further along, and you pull just the right type of champion, is gonna be soloing dungeons using certain champion types. For example, Stage 20 Dragon, it's a nice and efficient, like energy efficient, cost efficient stage to farm to finish dragon tournaments, for example, during a fusion. However, my dragon team could actually hypothetically look a little bit something like this. A one-man team of my Masiliac Priest Ornn, who, if I go into my champs real quick, is built in Immortal Gear and Regeneration Gear, and is able to solo dungeons completely. That's like all he's built for, you know? What this then allows me to do is fill up all of the other champion slots in the team with food champions. I can just throw my Masiliac Priest Ornn into this encounter, and I can just queue up like 40 multi-battles on Super Raids or something, leave the game running overnight, you know, with like a bunch of food champions queued up, and he's just gonna farm them all up, man, and that way I'm farming a dungeon tournament at the same time as I may be farming like a dungeon divers, while I'm also farming up food champions, you know? It's one of the most efficient things you can do, and it's something that, honestly, I don't think that you, like, it's difficult to fully comprehend how awesome this is and how much of a difference this makes to your ability to just rack up chickens in your reserve vault until you've actually built it yourself on your own account and you've experienced it, you know? And I'm just now realizing that Masiliac Priest Ornn is actually weak affinity into Stage 20 Dragon, so he is going to get it done, but the clear is going to be even slower than it usually would be. God damn it. Alright, and there you go, man. Easy levels come streaming on in. It's not as much experience as you're going to get in the likes of Campaign, but it's not bad either, right? And it's one of those things that you might as well do. Again, just huge efficiency gains there once you've got champions like Ornn set up. Next up, man, we've got champion training events and champion training tournaments. A champion training tournament is basically the same as a champion training event, apart from the fact that you can dump like a big burst of points at a time by spending skill tomes in a champion training tournament. Not that it's advised that you spend your skill tomes during a champ training tournament unless you're like desperate to try and win, like right at the very end or something, like the first place prize is something very important. Typically speaking, you should be saving your skill books on your account to use during a CVC instead, particularly a personal rewards CVC. And so the real lesson to be learned here is that when it comes to the brews in your tavern, right, spirit brews, force brews, void brews, whatever, I'm actually going to throw in here another little mini tip that sometimes like throws new players off. It always seemed intuitive to me, but some new players just don't get this, I guess. If you're going to use brews to level up a champion, for example, a 1-star food champion or something, by like using a few copies and then a brew, make sure that you're using a brew that matches that champion's affinity. Not all brews are just the same, right? This is a magic affinity food champion right here with Death Knight, and so we're going to use one magic brew on the Death Knight to get him up to level 10. If I was to use a force brew here, he just doesn't get as much experience from the force brew and only makes it to level 8 actually, right? So just make sure that you're using brews that actually match the champion type that you are ranking up. Again, seems self-explanatory to most players, but I think you'd be surprised. However, for any newer players watching this, man, I need you to have this knowledge ingrained in your head, man. When it comes to using your brews, okay, you are not, the purpose of an experience brew is not to grant experience to a champion that you want to take up to level 60. That is not the purpose of an experience brew. The only time an experience brew should ever really be used is if you've got like a crap load of mystery shards and you want to rank up 1-star food champions, like we've showed a couple of times already, or if you are in the midst of a champion training event. Okay, these champ training events right here reward you for leveling up champions and for ranking up champions. So when it comes to leveling up your food champions in the tavern and ranking up your food champions in the tavern, what you do not want to be doing is the following. The worst possible thing we could do is take a food champion like Ranger right here and then just throw a bunch of food champions into ranger and hit this upgrade button. That would be terrible, okay? What we actually want to do is go into upgrade level first. I'm just going to switch the way these guys are being sorted. Let me just filter by 4-star champions. We want to take our food champions that we were about to feed on in, and we want to go ahead and throw some brews into these guys. When it comes to your 4-star food champions, I'd recommend throwing 3 brews. Look at the CVC points coming in just there, man. You want to throw 3 brews into your 4-star champions. I'd recommend putting 4 brews into your 5-star champions. 3-star champions, I just put in the 1 personally. Everybody has like a different limit as to what they like to put into these guys. For me, it's 3 brews though into my 4 stars, and so that's what I'm gonna do. And now we are ready to go ahead and rank up that champion that we were looking at just a little bit later on. So I'm going to grab these foods, throw them in, and then we rank on up. That is literally how you want to be using your brews. That's like the main purpose of experience brews on your account, you know? And it's funny, man, there's always one guy in the comments, no, man, that's ridiculous, bro. That's such a huge waste of brews. Like, you're using brews to level up a champion and then just eat them in the tavern? Yes! Yes, we are. You know why, man? Because look at this. I've got a bunch of level 1 3-star food champions right here now. I'm just going to put 1 brew into each of these guys to earn me some quick event points for champ training. And so it's a little bit laborious, so I'm just going to cut this part out for you guys so y'all don't have to watch all of this. All right, you know what that'll do? That's about like 70 3-star champions just with brews thrown into them. And then if we tab on into the champion training event, you can see we've made like great progress already, and that's just from throwing brews into a bunch of 3-star champions, man. When you're throwing brews into 5-star food champions and 4-star food champions, you get even more points than that. This is how you farm your rewards from champion training events, right? Your brews exist on your account to be converted into rewards from champion training events and champion training tournaments, right? That's something that's you've got to internalize that, right? Now, if you're on like an Omega early game account, the very first thing you're going to be trying to do, right, is just take your campaign farmer champ, might be a Thorlin or Kale or whatever, up to level 60 as soon as humanly possible. But once you've got your first level 60, what you actually want to start doing as well is a little bit of... Oh, okay, I've really pushed it to a limit here on my main account for the time being, but what you want to be doing is sitting on a bunch of champions that are just camping out at level 40 like this if you can. Same thing with level 30 food champions as well. If you, I actually don't know if I have any, but if you can sit on like a good stockpile of champions that are just sitting at level 30 on your account, I actually just don't have that many right now, don't rank them up. Not yet. Just hold off a few days, man. Like once a week, there's a champion training event or champion training tournament. These things come around often, and so you might as well wait to pull the trigger on those things. Just be a little bit diamond hands. Hold off on ranking up your food champions until the champ training event or champ training tournament shows up. This is another one of those things that's considered like, oh, it's like such a diamond hand things to do. You don't need to bother doing this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm on the absolute other side of the fence where, like, no, man, you've got to be mega efficient when it comes to storing up your food champions like this and prepping them ahead of time for tournaments and stuff like that. Dude, I'll tell you what, man, there have been the likes of events, like actual Heroes Path events where champ training has been a objective in the event. I think I did this for the Queen of Hearts 5-star Soul, right? The Queen of Hearts 5-star Soul was up for grabs. I think it was that Heroes Path event where champ training was an option. I didn't pull a single soul stone, a single shard. I did the entire thing just from getting champion training points, you know? And I couldn't have done that without like a crazy amount of prep and by using my brews like you're seeing in this video, man. So yeah, considering your food champions a resource on your account is just as important as farming them up in the first place. That's all I got, man. Hey, if I missed any rules or tips or tricks for farming up food champions and being way more efficient on early game accounts as well as more mid and late game accounts, in this video, make sure to go ahead and plop them down below in the comments, man, and help out all of the beginners that may or may not be watching this video. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Hope you all did enjoy, man. If you haven't made a new account just yet using the Basilius Uranus promo link, you can find down below at the top of the video description box, then get it done right now by clicking on that link on laptop or PC to grab Basilius, as well as a whole bunch of free epic champions on your new raid account. Even Thorlin Foulbeard with using promo code Demon Slayer as well on day 1 of your new raid account, man. Crazy stuff. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.